Ladies and gentlemen, we made it. We are nearing the very end of watchOS 26 betas. Apple just dropped iOS, watchOS, iPadOS, visionOS, the whole suite of updates for beta 8, and this should be it. So, before we even jump anything crazy into this, let's go into settings, general, and about, and take a look at this final build number here, which is again carrying an A build with a full build number of 23R5350A, and that is awesome. Again, just reaffirming everything we thought of this being most likely, barring any crazy bugs or setbacks found, the final update. So, beyond that too, before we jump into it anymore, let's go down to battery, and I want to show you my battery health now nearing the end of this cycle. Our battery health is now sitting at 90% still, so we really didn't lose too much max capacity, even after all these betas, and only a few weeks away from the next Ultra launch, the Ultra 3, and the Watch Series 11. So, that is good to see. One thing that I wish we saw a little more of, let me go ahead and get out of this. One thing I wish I saw a little more of are changes to those gestures that we've been talking about for a little while now, because if you actually go into the app and go into gestures, it is still very minimal. Double tap, still restricted to just these same settings it's had since launch, and the wrist flick gesture. Now, I do like this. Again, it doesn't dismiss your notifications, it kind of just pushes it off to the side a little. You still have to go in and close it out even after a wrist flick. So I'd like to see that actually mark them as red and take care of those as well in one fell swoop. But for now, that is what we are going to be sitting with, unfortunately. Now, and again, no surprise, since there's nothing really new expected in this build. As you can see, no Apple Intelligence here, still old school Siri. I know a lot of people talk about that. Nothing great there. And then, watch gallery. Confirming everything else, our other suspicions, there will be no new watch faces here in iOS 26. However, at the launch, that should be happening in just a couple of weeks, we should be getting a new watch face at that point in time, which is definitely going to be nice to see. Speaking of which, since it is very minimal and we'll still go through our normal routine on seeing how everything operates, let's talk about what to expect here. Since we are, as crazy as it seems, at the end of August already, today's the 25th, we are probably not going to get a 9th beta, like I said, barring any crazy bugs that are just recently found. So next week, we should not see any sort of updates, but instead, 2 weeks later, on September 8th, or I should say the week of September 8th. The Apple event is rumored to be on that Tuesday the 9th, and since usually they like to send out invites about 2 weeks ahead of events, we can look for the rest of the week, hopefully seeing Apple to drop these invites and announce the Apple event for the fall. Super excited. This is what we've been building up to ever since WWDC, as always, and really since the last Apple Watch and iPhone event. This is what we always look forward to every year. So hopefully we will see that coming in the very near future. Now, on the week of the 8th, like we were talking about, right after the Apple event on the 9th, if it does stick, and that rumor is true, we should receive the RC or release candidate at that point of time. Once we do, you know, probably on September 15th, the next Monday after the event, that is when it will go to the public. So the public release will be out, and then we can start looking at watchOS 26.1 Beta 1 coming probably in another week after that. So there's still a lot to look forward to, even though the main iOS 26 launch will have been concluded. So, like I said, let's go ahead and quickly take a look at our normal song and dance, jump into the weather app, and see how responsive and how animations look. And so far, it's actually looking pretty fluid just from that. Let's jump into steps. Little lag between some of the screens, but unfortunately, that's not new to watchOS at all. I've been experiencing it, at least personally, for a little while now. And then let's just say fitness. That's scrolling a lot better. It still had a little glitch though there. So there's a lot new in watchOS 26. I'll have a whole video on that, recapping all of those changes in these beta cycles before the actual launch. So make sure to thumbs up and subscribe for that. Most of you guys that watch are not currently subscribed. It hugely helps out the channel, so please make sure to do that if you don't mind. But yeah, we'll keep this video short and sweet today. That is really it. Lots to look forward to in the very near future, even with iOS, watchOS, and the likes of those ending the first beta cycles. So thanks for watching. We will catch you in the next one. Peace.